Let's go. What is up, everybody? I am Get Flanked, and it's time for us to have a tough conversation about frag grenades in Rainbow Six Siege. Now, this isn't something I'm personally looking forward to because I think frag grenades are some of the most satisfying kills you can get in Siege. When you get that info on an enemy location, cook that grenade just right, throw it, and see that kill feed light up, it is a great feeling. But unfortunately, it may be getting out of control. If you've been watching any of the Six Invitational, it's very likely that you've seen how dominant grenades have been with rounds like this.
Cool. He's creeping into side, Des. He's going to jab it off. He's looking to get aggressive. He's going in right now and getting the plant down. Is the cover in place? I'm not convinced that it is, but I'm not sure that TSM know what's going on. Fury! No, it's been stopped. Charla in the absolute nick of time, Des, manages to prevent that diffuser going down, and that is huge from TSM.
There's still more time to play with, mind you, but now TSM know where the diffuser is. They can just play around it. You got Lender, who was looking to try and play on the below. Grenades in hand. If you can finish off Geo, that'll be a great start. There it is. The nade from below. There's still one more inside a cocktail, mind you, achieved. Down to about half HP. Another nade from below. Two coming in one round for Furia. A great start with Fancy hitting the deck. Lender going absolutely nuclear this round. 3 to his name and gets the 4th as well.
That was Linda of Fury getting 2 vertical nade kills in a round by sitting underneath the objective and throwing grenades at his soft ceiling and the defender's soft floor. We've seen attacker-operator compositions that very commonly bring 6 and sometimes even 8 frag grenades into a round. And this begs the question, does something need to be done about them? Well, like most balanced topics in Rainbow Six Siege, it's complicated. It's very easy to look at the amount of kills the pros are getting with frag grenades and think they might be overpowered, but the frag grenade itself has been in the game since day one and has remained relatively unchanged. So why in year 6 are we seeing them become so dominant? I think it has much more to do with in-game changes and player skill improvement than the frag grenades themselves. So let's start there. The addition of yellow ping is probably the single biggest buff that we have seen to frag grenades, and especially the vertical grenade kills that we've ever had in the game. The ability for pros to get a drone in sight and yellow ping a defender without them knowing allows them to have surgical precision with their frags that they're already very good with. The addition of the Gon 6 and Flores has also had a huge impact in a couple different ways. First of all, now frag grenades can be used to get kills, whereas before they had to be used to clear bulletproof utility. The utility clearing potential of the Gon 6 and Flores have also allowed attackers to be much more flexible as far as their operator composition. This means attackers can bring an operator like Nook or Finka more often who bring frag grenades with them. In fact, when we look at the operator presence statistics for SI so far provided by CGG, you see that the top 6 attackers with the highest presence are Hibana, Yana, Sledge, Thatcher, Finka, and Maverick. That means that 4 of the top 6 have frag grenades. To make matters worse, Thatcher is only up that high because of his ban rate. So when you look at the operators that you are actually likely to see in a round, 4 of the top 5 have frag grenades. So that's my explanation for why we are seeing frag grenades have such a huge impact now. The next question is, should the devs do anything about it? And that's really tough because as dominant as frag grenades have been for the pros, they haven't been a problem for the average player in ranked yet. I do believe it is coming though. I don't think we'll ever see golds in ranked using grenades as effectively as the best players in the world, but many times in Siege, we've seen the pros introduce a strat or even an operator, and then we see the ranked players start to copycat and use it in their own game. But even with this in mind, I don't think that frag grenades themselves should be changed or nerfed directly. I say this because I consider the grenade to be a high skill mechanic in the game. There's a lot of skill in getting a vertical grenade kill. You have to have the map knowledge to know which floors are soft. You usually need some type of info from a drone or a teammate telling you the location of a defender. And finally, you have to have some practice in cooking and throwing that grenade perfectly to explode at the right time. I've heard some ideas thrown out that maybe they should look at the damage that grenades do through soft floors and ceilings, and I think if vertical grenades escalate even more, that's a possibility, but it's not where I would start right now. I think a better place to start addressing the grenades right now would be with which operators have grenades themselves, as well as the Gon 6. The first operator I would tweak is Yana. She should lose frag grenades. I've been a fan of her being in the meta the last few seasons, and I don't want her to be useless, but I think losing the grenades is appropriate as she could still be useful without them. She still has the Gon 6 to clear utility, her Gemini is so good at gathering info and can be used to clear Aruni gates as well. She's the first operator that should lose the frag grenades in my opinion. Next in my crosshairs is Finka. She needs to lose the Gon 6. I like Finka being in the meta right now. I want to see her stay there for at least another season, and there's a lot of talk about potentially nerfing LMGs, so I'm not going to go into that right now, but if it does happen and Finka loses frags on top of that, I think it's a bit much. I say remove the Gon 6 from her and see where she ends up. Now we have to talk about Maverick and his frag grenades, and this one is really tough for me. On one hand, Maverick is so good even without them. He has a good gun, a 3-speed. He's a heart breacher that cannot be countered. He doesn't need frag grenades on top of all that. But man, those grenades synergize with his kit so well. The ability for me as a solo queue player to be able to bring Maverick and put a hole in an electrified wall, clear bandit, mute, or even electric claws from it is really nice. It's not automatic. Sometimes I'll need a teammate to burn an ADS or provide cover while I'm using my torch. I just feel like those plays where you really combine Maverick's gadget with his frag grenades to clear utility feel great as a player who's pulling it off. And when the frag grenades are used like that, they aren't being used to get kills, and I don't feel like they're as oppressive in my opinion. However, the potential of Maverick being able to open a reinforced and electrified wall by himself and then go below the objective and get 2 vertical kills with the grenades is a bit much. In a perfect world, I would say you could remove Maverick frags from the comp players, but not the average player. But that's not how we do things in this game, so I lean towards removing Maverick's frags altogether. Now let's talk about Sledge. Ubisoft, I beg you, do not remove frag grenades from Sledge. I know the temptation will be there to do it. Sledge has an insane high pick rate and is really strong in the meta right now. But I think it's okay for a good operator to have frags. I just don't think it's okay for 4 or 5 operators that are super meta to have them. Let Sledge keep them and make adjustments elsewhere. I can't really give you a good reason why, other than it just feels wrong to think about Sledge not having them. I would also say that I feel like removing them would remove any real choice between Buck and Sledge. I feel like it would be a no-brainer in most situations to bring Buck, and then we would be back where we were when Buck and Sledge both had the nades. So I've suggested removing frag grenades from Yana for sure, and I'm leaning towards removing them from Maverick as well. Who should we give them to? I think the most common answer from the community would be IQ. Ever since she lost her frags many years ago, people have been asking for her to get them back. I get it. It makes sense for her to not only be able to locate gadgets, but have a way of destroying them as well. If both Yana and Maverick lost their nades, I would probably be okay with this. If only Yana loses nades though, I'm afraid that giving them to IQ wouldn't solve anything. I feel like IQ would just slide right into the spot that Yana is currently filling, and the only difference is that she wouldn't have a Gon 6. If I'm picking one operator that I would like to see get frag grenades, I would give them to Gridlock. I feel like Gridlock has always been overshadowed by Nomad in the anti-flank role, and for good reason. Nomad's air jabs are more flexible and just stronger overall in my opinion. Giving Gridlock grenades could make it a real choice though. Keep in mind that Gridlock has 2 very strong weapons to choose from and that super shorty secondary. This could make for a really fun kit, and I feel like she needs it in order to get picked as a 1-speed operator. There are real concerns with giving grenades to Gridlock though. This would give her 5 throwables in her kit, and it would mean that she could burn 2 ADSs and 3 wall-mine magnets herself. That might be a bit much. The fact that Ying currently has the same number of throwables between her Candelas and Smokes, and it hasn't gotten out of control, does give me some hope that this could work though. Alright, that's enough for me. It's your turn now. Let me know what you think. Do you think there's a problem with frag grenades to begin with? Who should lose them? Who should get them? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I know that I focused a lot in this video on vertical nade kills, and I think those are the things that really jump out at you because they're very, very flashy. But even with those kind of set aside, I think that frag grenades currently are just having a bit too much of an impact on the competitive rounds in Rainbow Six Siege, and it just doesn't feel quite balanced to me. So that's why I'm really inspired to make this video and talk about them. I just don't want it to make it feel like the only issue with them are vertical nade kills. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure that you like and subscribe. I'm going to be covering all the Year 7 reveals, the new operator, all that stuff is coming over the next few days on the channel, so make sure you have those notifications on so you don't miss any of that, and I will see you on the next one.